If you're struggling to build a funnel that'll actually convert your prospects into opportunities so that you can create new clients, you're probably not alone. In fact, I know you're not alone. Knowing what type of funnel to create and how to create it, and really removing the technology aspect out of the way, is what I'm going to address in this video. So my name is Trevor Turnbull. I'm the founder of Expert Selling, and we serve the solopreneur that is looking to create a repeatable, a predictable, and a measurable client acquisition system. And they may be struggling right now with technology, with team building, and then of course in managing their time to get all of these pieces done. Now, I've created this methodology called the Solo Method that really helps address the challenges that solopreneurs in particular face, which is around, as you can see on the diagram here, around dialing in one audience, about having one campaign to be able to take that audience and run them through a process to be able to get them on the phone to sell your higher price point, transformational, high touch services. And then of course, having an offer that's so well dialed in that you can serve the best clients to the top of your ability. So if we focus in specifically on the solo funnel, what I'm going to talk about here in this video is about having one campaign that is really dialed in and has the purpose of actually taking your buyer down a journey, knowing that you have to educate them, you have to nurture them, you have to get them coming into your world, realizing the pain points that they have, seeing that you can provide the solution, and then ultimately looking to you to provide that solution in a client-vendor relationship. So I'm going to use a reference here to a diagram that I created that whenever I show this to people, they kind of go, what is this, right? But this is essentially a funnel hack of our funnel. And there's a lot of moving pieces here, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed by that. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to zoom in on this part in particular. This is what we call an appointment campaign. So there's a lot of different types of campaigns that you can create as a solopreneur to be able to educate, to be able to, illuminate the pain points that your audience has and to ultimately get them on the phone. And that's what we're trying to do more than anything, though, is to get them on the phone. If you're watching this, it's likely that 90 to 95 to 100% of your business is actually done over the phone or in person, right? So you need a way to easily not only get somebody on your calendar, but also to walk them down a journey of when they do sign up for a call, that they have absolute certainty that they know what you're going to be talking about and addressing on that call. They're going to have some assets and resources that will be provided to them prior to the call so that you can overcome objections before you ever get on that call. And you also want to be able to connect with them on a very one-on-one level so that there is they're not coming there wondering who you are and what you do and how you can help them. We want to educate them and bring them along that journey. So this diagram really just explains that. It talks about the first step being a booking form. In some cases, you may want to do an application on the first step and then to a booking form. Either way, it depends on the scenario of your business, but the whole point is that the pages will actually lead that person down a journey, and you want to do step 1, step 2, step 3. Now, let me show you an example of this. We've got a couple of examples of how we've set up these appointment campaigns, but if I go to expertselling.com, expertsellingmachine.com/discovery, you're going to find a page that is our appointment campaign. Okay, so you'll notice that the design on this is very, very simple. It has our logo on here for our higher ticket, our high touch transformational mentoring program that includes a done for you component. We've got a clearly outlining, outcome-based statement in the title here. Then we've also got this is why we want to hop on a call with you. If we believe that we can help you and we're going to ask you a few specific questions, then we'll of course invite you to work with us. So it's really given some context to why a person would hop on a call with you as opposed to it just being a sales call, right? In our case, it's a clarity call. It's an opportunity for us to see whether or not we can actually support that person. The video is there to support the context of the text that's on the page. And it's really about connecting with that person, right? So, just having text on a page is not going to give them the sense of who you are, how you communicate, what drives you. Obviously, we want to keep this video nice and tight. And I've got some training on exactly what the script on this should look like. But of course, you can go to this page and just watch this and you'll get a good idea of that. And then, of course, we actually already have the appointment calendar embedded right onto this page as well. So make it easy for somebody to actually book on your calendar so that you're not doing that back and forth of, Hey, I'd like to meet with you. Okay, great. How's 4 p.m. on Thursday? Ah, man, I got to take my kids to soccer. What about next Tuesday? Oh, I'm going on vacation. We want to eliminate that. Make it easy for that person to actually book on your calendar. I actually also include testimonials. There's a bunch of screenshots on here from our private community. So that is the first step as it relates to what you see here. So the booking form, right? Once a person does that, the second step that they go to is an application or a questionnaire. And there's a lot of ways to approach this, and I'm not going to get into all the details of there's the video of the pros and cons of asking more questions or less questions, but you can see based on this page that, again, it's a very simple design. It just tells them that, all right, we got you scheduled. Now we have to do one more step. I need to collect a little bit of information before we get on the call so that we can know whether or not we can best serve you. So the video, again, articulates that. It helps walk them through so that they know the stage that they're at. And then we have this detailed form. And there's a lot of different tools you could use to be able to capture this information, whether it's just a straight form on like a Clickfunnels page integrated with your email system, or if you use something like Typeform, like a survey type tool. Either way, you just want to collect some of this information. And like I said, I'm not going to go into all the details on this video about the pros and cons of asking more versus less questions and how this fits into the whole sales process. But just know that this is an important part because you want to exchange value. You need to collect information. They need to give that up so that when you come to the call, that there's context already. You already have an understanding of their current reality, where they want to get to, possibly even what their revenue situation is and what their goals are. So those are all important in step number 2. And again, you can see it laid out here on this diagram. Once we get past that, then we've got step number 3. And step number 3 is very simple, but one that often gets overlooked. What we do typically, let me just pause the video that's going to play here. So what we do typically, oh, that one didn't autoplay, it's funny. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's based on browser settings. But what we typically do and what we typically see is that people will use a calendar system. And when somebody books, they just go to a standard template confirmation for the calendar system that says, all right, you're on our schedule. We'll see you then, which is okay if you're starting out. But what I want to encourage you to do is actually create a custom thank you page and say, we've got you on the calendar, we've got your information collected, I'm going to review that before our call just so you know that your time is important to me. I want to make sure that you don't have to repeat yourself. And I also want to dive a little bit deeper on that call. So in the meantime, before that call, here's a couple of resources I'd like you to check out. So you could link up articles that you have on LinkedIn, on your blog, any major media publications like Forbes, Entrepreneur, whatever you happen to have. Guidebooks, reports, white papers, value videos, whatever you can provide for context to your target audience, the person that signed up for the call. Again, it helps educate them even more prior to the call so that you can make the best use of your time. That prospect can understand that you're taking the time to learn more about them and their specific needs, and it just creates a much better environment when you actually get on that sales call. And you'll notice here that we actually link up more social proof in the form of testimonial videos and screenshots from our private community inside of Slack. So the reason why I'm focusing in on this one here is that I believe this is the number one and the first type of campaign that you should create as a solopreneur. You have to get your prospects on the phone. If you're selling a high touch, high value, high price point service that's focused on transforming that person's business, you're going to do it through personal connection. You're going to do it through phone sales or in-person sales. So if you don't have any kind of funnel set up, you start there. Now we've got all kinds of trainings on that include templates for these pages like you just saw, scripts for the videos, scripts for the follow-up emails that go out, and I'm happy to provide that to you. Just leave a comment around this video and we'll be sure to connect with you and figure out how we can best get that into your hands. And if you also want some support on this, then by all means reach out to us, connect with me on LinkedIn. We're here to support you. And this is just the start because, of course, once we get past building that first appointment campaign, there is a whole bunch of other types that you can create, including a download type campaign for a guide, a report, an infographic. There's a video focused campaign that would be around value videos, like a series of videos or a mini webinar, which is an amazing tool to be able to further qualify and educate your prospects prior to getting them onto a call. We've got ones for book funnels, for launching free plus shipping offers or a book launch. We've got ones that are focused around live events. and a number of other different types of campaigns as well that we talk about. But again, I want you to focus in, get that appointment campaign done, that one campaign that can make all the difference when you're talking about really leveraging the solo method to define your audience, to get the campaign, to get people on the call so that you can then pitch them your perfect offer and land that perfect client. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.